Traders in the building, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I'm so glad that you've discovered me, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the continued love and support. And today I'll be doing the dollar index, gold, US30 and US100. So without wasting any time, let's start with the dollar index since it's the first on the watch list. As you can see, man, I'm bullish on this particular instrument, and to explain why, it's simply because we are in a bullish trend. This is very, very easy to see. That's number one. I say this because we keep making higher highs over here and we keep making higher lows. Very plain to understand. Another reason is we are currently above a level of sensitivity. We are currently above this support over here. You notice that the market was resisting, and ever since it broke, came back, then it couldn't break below that area. And so now I'm anticipating that this market is going to push at least until we reach this high, and then from there we can then anticipate something else, either a break, retest, or a reversal from that area. But for now, I'm bullish on this pair. There's nothing else, there's nothing more, there's nothing less. Moving on, how can you take advantage of this pair going to the upside? It's easy. Go to a smaller time frame, a daily time frame, of course, because it's much better to understand it. And what you look for here is structure suggesting that the market is about to buy. And as you can see, I've already highlighted here that I'll be looking for buys if price could come to this area. I'm expecting it to come back to this area over here. We do have this resistance that we just recently broke over there. However, I'm mostly interested into this one. The reason is it was coming down over here, right? Created a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and so this was the last lower high, right? And so price recently broke that lower high. It could come back to that lower high to retest, and then obviously we can see buys from that area going to that particular resistance over there. And that's all I'm looking for, man, on the dollar index. There's nothing more, there's nothing less. I'm looking for buys. You should be looking for buys. Moving on to gold, the second pair of the day. I'm bearish on this instrument, and I will explain to you guys why. It's easy to understand, by the way, if you look at these analysis. The first reason is we come from an area of sensitivity over here. We come from that resisting trend line over here. You notice there's the first touch, second touch, third touch, and the fourth touch over there. Another reason is we do come from that area over there, that zone. You notice that there is a zone over here. Anytime price got there, it failed, got there again, failed. So the same thing is happening. As you can see, the market got there and it's rejecting that area. So I'm expecting that this market is gonna drop at least until we reach this low over here, However, it could continue down, but for me, I would love to see the market reach this low, and from there I will observe what price is doing. But how can you take advantage of this move? Go to the downside. It's easy. Again, go to a daily time frame, smaller time frame, the one that you prefer, and again you look for structure, anything suggesting that the market is about to sell. But we do have a low over here that the market couldn't break last week. As you can see, man, we had something like a range. Let me zoom in like this. We had something like a range at this area. The market really gave us those doji indecision candlesticks at that area. So this usually means that the market is really failing dismally to break below this area. So now hence we do see that on Friday we had that bullish move going up. Even though NFP came to be bearish for gold, we did see that eventually the market gained momentum to the upside. So how can you take advantage of this move going to the upside? It's easy again. So as you can see, man, this is before I go ahead, this is a significant area. This is a resistance over here, you notice. And for some time, anytime price got there, there was a lot of indecision before price broke that area, came back, retested, and then the market shot up. So this is why I'm assuming that the market again is going to respect on this area, and we could see price going up at least until that high before we can expect those sells. Overall, I'm bearish on this particular market, but we could see something like this before we see that drop. Let me show you the trades that I took last week because I was trading this market. And so my thing was, I was very bearish on this market, right? So now you might be wondering, why did I end up taking a buy for my first trade? It's easy. Because I know that we do have a low over here, right? Because I know that we do have a significant low at this area, I was expecting, or rather I was observing price to see if it's gonna break it, or rather it's gonna reject. As you are seeing now, it's reject. It was doing lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and instead of creating a lower low, it broke that lower high over there, which then for me was a signal that this market is about to go bullish. And I was like, you know what, on the retest I'm gonna enter for a buy, and I did. And I'll post a screenshot over here, and this is the trade that I took, and I won it, though it was kind of bad because of the fundamentals that came in on that day, but eventually I won that trade. And I was targeting this over here because this was an area where I thought price could go to, not this one, because this is a low, and because I was expecting that price, I thought really price was just gonna shoot up, go back to that retest. Hence I was targeting for this area over here. So the second trade over here, I didn't actually get triggered I'm not sure, but I think this is the trade. Price got here and I was like, okay, you know what, let me place my buy limit. I would love for price to trigger me in around these areas, and that's my target over there. Price couldn't trigger me in, and then it went until take profit. Unfortunately, I made nothing from there. And then this trade over here, this is when I noticed that, okay, we do have a range. So I was like, you know what, I might as well take my chances, because price, anytime it gets here, it's just dropping. So I was like, you know what, let me just sell this market. And I sold this market, and again, I'll post a screenshot. I made money from that. That's pretty much what I did for the week, man. There's nothing more, there's nothing less. I don't trade the market on Fridays. I'm sorry, not on Fridays, but on NFP Friday, I don't trade the market, because you see how the market has moved over here. So I like to avoid NFP. I don't trade fundamentals, by the way. Right, so let's move on to US30, or no, rather, let's start with US100. Bullish on this particular instrument, and I'll explain to you guys why I am bullish on this market. So this is the monthly time frame. Number one, you notice that obviously we are in a bullish trend. We keep making higher lows over here, higher high, and this I believe is going to be our second higher high, right? So now price, anytime it comes from a support, according to me, it's most likely going to go at least until it reaches that resistance over there. And so as you can see, last week I had this low over here. I had this area of support that I looked at, and I did suggest to you guys that we could expect that the market is going to reject from here and give us those buys. But that's not me knowing how to predict price. That's just me following price. I have a strategy of a break retest, and I do the same thing over and over. And so if price had broken below, then again I was gonna be like, retest, and then from there let's sell. But because then price didn't break below, this is why we saw those buyers coming in. And yeah, man, that's pretty much what I have for this week that is coming. I'm expecting that this market is gonna continue going up, and this is where you can start looking for buyers on this retest and buy. Or if the price can come back to this low over here, you can start looking for buyers. Either or, I'm still bullish on this market. There's nothing more, there's nothing less. Moving on to the instrument, the last instrument of the day, US30, and I'm bearish on this one, and I'll explain why. Let's go to the monthly time frame. So obviously, as you can see, we did reject that high. Even before we got there, we rejected it very much, like nothing. Big engulfing candlesticks over there. You notice these 3 candlesticks over there off a monthly time frame rejecting that high. So how can you take advantage of this move going to the downside? It's easy. Again, go to a daily time frame or the time frame that you prefer, and again you look for structure. And as you can see, recently we broke a trend line over here. There was a trend line on US30 going to the upside. You notice this was a trend line, very clean trend line. First touch over there, second, third, fourth touch, fifth touch, and anytime you bought there, you would see you would have made money, but price broke that trend line. So now I'm expecting that this market, because it just recently supported from this low over here, it is coming again to gain momentum, to drop from this particular low, and then we can expect that this market is gonna drop, could not break. I don't know, but if I believe it could break and then come to these lows over here. But that's all I have for the week that is coming, man. There's nothing more, there's nothing less. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and yeah, man, thank you guys for constantly supporting the channel. I love you. Thank you so much. I'll see you again next week, and I'm out.